Aaron stepped off the shuttle with wide eyes and a hopeful heart. This was his first official mission as a human liaison officer. The place was called Nerlith Prime, home of the Neuralian Stall. Silver-skinned aliens known for their cold logic and strong discipline, humans were still new to the Galactic Council, and this posting was important for showing that humans could work with others peacefully. He had read about Neuralians. They didn't laugh. They didn't cry. They believed. Emotions were weaknesses, but Aaron believed the opposite. He always thought emotions were what made someone strong: kindness, care, courage. When he entered the command building, he was surprised at how quiet everything was. No one greeted him. The halls were clean and metallic, with soft lights that gave off no warmth. A tall female Neuralian waited for him inside a meeting room. She wore dark armor with sharp lines and had glowing markings near her temples. Her name was Commander Thalira. She had short white hair and piercing violet eyes that didn't blink much. "You are the human?" she asked. "Yes, ma'am," Aaron said with a nervous smile. "Aaron Miles, happy to be working with you." She didn't return the smile. Instead, she turned sharply. "You are late by 30 seconds." Aaron's smile faded just a little. Sorry? Gravity was heavier than I expected." "Excuses are unnecessary," Thalira said. "Follow me. You will be shown your quarters and given mission briefs." They walked in silence. Aaron tried to make conversation. "I heard the food here is very different. Any favorites?" Thalira replied. "Food is for fuel. Favorites are for the weak." "Oh, okay," Aaron said quietly. After a few days, Aaron realized Thalira was always like this: serious, quiet, cold. She never laughed, never joked, and never seemed to rest. She worked like a machine. The Neuralian guards respected her, but no one seemed close to her. He started calling her Commander Ice in his mind, though never to her face. But Aaron didn't give up. He believed that even cold people had warmth buried somewhere. Maybe they just needed someone to find it. One evening, they were reviewing a list of possible pirate threats near the border. The air was tense. Aaron noticed Thalira rubbing her head, like she was tired. "You okay?" he asked. "I'm functioning," she replied without looking up. Aaron reached into his small bag and pulled out a snack bar. "Here," he said, offering it to her. "It's from Earth. Peanut and honey, sweet stuff. You need energy." She looked at it like it was a foreign object. "What is this?" "Just try it," Aaron smiled. She hesitated, then took it carefully. After a moment, she took a small bite. Her eyes widened slightly. "It is strange, soft, and flavorful." Aaron chuckled. "Yeah, it's sweet, like you." As soon as he said that, silence filled the room. Thalira froze. She stopped chewing. Her eyes locked on him like he had just said something dangerous. Aaron blinked. "Wait, I mean, not sweet like candy. Just, sweet. Like you didn't have to take it, but you did, and that's kind." Her face changed for a moment. Her violet skin shimmered with a soft blue glow near her cheeks. It looked like a blush. "Say it again," she said quietly. Aaron tilted his head. "What?" "The word." "Say it again." Aaron looked confused. "You mean sweet." She looked away quickly and stood. "Forget it," she said, her voice colder again. "Continue reviewing the list." She left the room in a hurry. Aaron sat back, holding the folder in his lap, totally lost. What just happened? That night, Thalira sat alone in her quarters. She stared at her reflection in the metal wall. Her heart, something she rarely thought about, was beating faster than normal. Her fingers trembled slightly. Why had that word done that to her? She typed it into her interface. Sweet, human word. Meaning, kind, gentle, pleasant, emotionally warm. None of these were things she had ever been called. Her whole life was built on command, strength, and control. But when Aaron said it, it made her feel something strange. It wasn't weakness. It felt warm. She touched her cheek where the glow had appeared. Was this how humans felt all the time? Aaron, meanwhile, paced in his room. Why did she react like that? He asked himself out loud. It was just a word. She looked like I hit her with a laser. He opened his data pad and searched for Neuralian cultural meanings. He didn't find much about emotions, probably because they tried not to show any. But he did find one sentence that caught his eye. Neuralians are taught to view emotional language as intimate or inappropriate. Aaron sighed. Great. I just told a galactic warrior she was sweet. Next I'll be calling a general cuddly. He sat down on the bed and looked up at the ceiling. Still, there was something about the way she said say it again. Not angry. Not cold, but something softer. A few days passed. The mission reports kept coming in. Border pirates were becoming more active. Valera and Aaron had to meet often for planning. She kept things professional. She thought she was doing a good job hiding her emotions. But Aaron noticed that during one late meeting, Aaron brought into steaming cups. I replicated tea from your ship's library. Apparently, this blend is calming. Valera glanced at the cup, then back at him. We are not under stress. Aaron gave a half smile. You sure? She stared at the cup, then reached out and took it. She sipped it quietly. It is acceptable. He sipped his too, then leaned forward. I'm sorry if what I said before crossed a line. Her hand froze around the cup. Aaron continued. I didn't mean to offend you. On Earth, calling someone sweet is a nice thing. I saw a part of you that night, something kind. She didn't speak for a long time. Then she said, you did not offend me. Oh. Aaron blinked. Then, why have you been avoiding me? She looked down into her tea. Because I felt something, and I did not know what it was. Aaron leaned back slowly. Feelings aren't bad, Valera. They are dangerous, she whispered. He shook his head. They're real. They make us connect. They make us strong in different ways. Valera looked at him. You are not like the others. You see beyond orders. I try, Aaron said softly. And I think you do too. You just hide it. For a moment, their eyes met, and there was silence, but not the awkward kind. It felt full, like something was changing between them. The next morning, word came in of a possible pirate sighting near the supply lines. Valera and Aaron were ordered to visit a nearby outpost to inspect. They took a small scout ship together. As they flew through the quiet stars, Aaron noticed how she kept looking out the window. Her expression was thoughtful. You've been quiet, he said. I am thinking. About what? She turned her head slightly. About what it means to be seen. Aaron stayed quiet, letting her continue. Most of my life, I was trained to be feared, respected, followed, but never noticed. Aaron smiled gently. Well, I noticed. The moment you tried that snack and didn't spit it out, I knew there was hope. She blinked. Confused. You think I am soft? No, he said. I think you're strong and sweet. The two aren't opposites. She stared at him again. That glow returned to her cheeks. You said it again. Yeah, he smiled. Because it's true. End of part 2. The scout ship landed on Outpost 7, a small metal base floating above a gas giant. It was quiet and cold, like most Neuralian outposts. 2 guards met them at the entrance. But they seemed nervous. The lead guard spoke quickly. Commander. Valera, we had a brief signal drop near the southern sensor tower. We believe pirates may have scanned us. Valera nodded. Show us the location. We'll inspect it personally. Aaron followed her across the narrow walkways. The wind howling from the planet's swirling atmosphere below. The place felt abandoned. Almost forgotten. It gave him a strange feeling like something wasn't right. As they reached the outer tower, the alarm light suddenly blinked red. Unauthorized ship detected. Came a voice over the intercom. Approaching fast, Aaron looked at Valera. Pirates, most likely, she said calmly. We must act quickly. They rushed back inside, sealing the outer doors. Valera barked orders to the guards while Aaron checked the system map. A large enemy vessel was closing in. We can't fight them from here, he said. This place has weak defenses. Valera nodded. Then we hide. Wait, then strike with surprise. The guards helped move essential supplies into a hidden lower chamber. Valera and Aaron followed. It was small and dimly lit, with only basic systems running. As the outer walls shook from the enemy ship's landing, Aaron felt tension building. How many do you think? he asked. More than us, Thalira replied. They sat close, the silence between them filled with unspoken worry. For once, Thalira didn't hide her emotions. Her hands were tight around her pulse rifle, but her jaw clenched slightly, showing stress. You scared? Aaron asked quietly. She looked at him. No, but I am unsettled. Welcome to the human side of fear, he said with a smile. She gave him a small look. Not quite a smile, but something close. Suddenly, they heard footsteps above them. Pirates were moving through the outpost. Aaron whispered. If they find us, they won't. Thalira interrupted. They are loud, careless. We wait, then act. Aaron nodded, trusting her, even now. In the face of danger, she stayed calm, strong. But this time, it felt different. Not just cold strength, but real courage. They waited for an hour, barely. Breathing. Then, a loud crash shook the base. It was followed by shouting pirate voices. Thalira moved quickly, now. They exited the chamber through a service hatch and slipped into the dark halls. With quiet steps, they moved behind the pirates, using the narrow paths Thalira knew well. Aaron watched her take down to pirates with swift, silent strikes. She was fast and precise. He had seen human soldiers fight, but Thalira was something else, controlled like a storm ready to be released. As they reached the command room, a pirate spotted them. Intruders. Gunfire burst through the corridor. Aaron ducked and fired back with his stun blaster. Thalira moved ahead, shielding him. Her armor took a hit, but she didn't stop. She knocked out to more enemies and sealed the door. Alarms blared. The pirates were now alert. They had no choice but to send out a distress signal. Aaron looked at her. We need help. She hesitated, then nodded. Send it, but it will take time. As the signal burst into space, they sat again in silence, waiting. You fought like a champion, Aaron said softly. I was trained for it, she replied. No, he said. You did more than that. You protected me. Not because of duty, but because you cared. She looked at him. You are my mission. Really? He smiled gently. Is that all? Thalira opened her mouth to answer, but nothing came out. Her eyes dropped to the ground. Then, finally, she whispered, No. Aaron leaned closer. So what am I? She looked back at him, eyes full of confusion and something deeper. You are different. You make me feel things I'm not supposed to feel. Weakness, or maybe strength. I do not know. Aaron chuckled. We call it connection. She blinked. Connection. Yeah. When do people trust, care, and protect each other? Not just because they have to, but because they want to. Thalira said nothing, but her face softened. That same soft glow appeared again on her cheeks. That word again, she said. Sweet, Aaron smiled. You remembered. It still feels strange, but also warm. He nodded. Then maybe it's not so bad. The door buzzed outside. Ships had arrived, friendly signals. Backup from the council forces. The pirates were retreating. Thalira stood up slowly. It is over. Aaron looked up at her. No, I think something just started. She paused, watching him. Then, without a word, she held out her hand to help him up. After the pirate attack, Commander Thalira and Aaron returned to Nerlith Prime. Both were honored for their bravery, but things didn't go back to how they were before. Something had changed between them. It wasn't spoken, but it was there. In every look, every pause, every small moment. Aaron noticed how Thalira now stood a little closer during meetings. She no longer avoided his gaze. Sometimes, when he spoke, her lips twitched, like she was holding back a smile. And once, she even brought him a cup of that calming tea he had introduced. For Thalira, the change was quiet but powerful. Her thoughts often wandered toward the human. She began studying human expressions, jokes, and stories. They fascinated her. Emotions were no longer something to hide, they became something to understand. One evening, they stood side by side at the observation deck, looking at the stars. They didn't speak for a while, just watched the lights pass like rivers in the sky. Aaron broke the silence first. You've been different lately. Thalira didn't deny it. I am learning. About humans? About myself. He smiled gently. You're doing well. She turned her eyes toward him. You once called me sweet, twice. He corrected with a soft grin. She looked away quickly, but there was a faint glow on her cheeks. I did not forget. I hoped you wouldn't. Silence returned for a moment, but it wasn't uncomfortable. Then Thalira spoke again. I was raised to believe feelings were distractions. That emotion clouded judgment. But in that outpost, during the attack, my feelings made me act faster, stronger. They made you human, Aaron said. She turned to face him. No, they made me whole. He looked at her with quiet surprise. She rarely spoke like this. It was honest, open. And for Thalira, it took courage. Suddenly, the room's lights blinked. A message alert appeared on the screen behind them. Aaron stepped forward to check. A meeting request. The council wants us to attend a diplomatic event next week. Thalira frowned. I dislike such gatherings. Why? Too many smiles and friendly greetings. Too many lies hidden in kind words. She replied. Aaron laughed. You're not wrong, but maybe we can go together. Balance each other out. Balance? She asked. Double quotes. Yeah, you with your calm and sharp thinking, and me with whatever it is I bring. She tilted her head. Hope? Aaron blinked. What? You bring hope, she said quietly, too. Me? Aaron didn't know what to say. His chest felt warm, and for a moment, he forgot how to breathe. Days passed. The diplomatic event arrived. Representatives from many planets filled the wide hall on the Central Space Station. Lights sparkled. Above them, long tables were set with food, drinks, and data pads showing peace efforts and trade plans. Aaron arrived first, wearing a clean, formal uniform. He looked around nervously. He wasn't used to this level of attention, but he knew Thalira would be joining him soon. When she finally entered, the room quieted slightly. Thalira's presence always drew attention. She was tall, proud, and powerful. But this time, her armor was polished, her movements smoother, her expression calm. Not cold, just calm. And when she walked toward Aaron, several alien diplomats whispered among themselves, "Is that the human liaison?" One asked. "He's walking with Commander Thalira." They reached the center of the room, standing beside each other. "Ready for this?" Aaron whispered. "As long as you do not call me sweet in front of everyone," she replied. He chuckled. No promises. The event went on with speeches, toasts, and long talks about unity. But many eyes kept returning to the human and the Neuralian warrior. They looked comfortable together, like to pieces of a puzzle that weren't supposed to fit, but somehow did. During a quiet moment, an old Thurian ambassador approached them. "Commander Thalira," the ambassador said slowly, "you seem more relaxed than usual. I wonder, has this human softened you?" Thalira looked at Aaron, then back at the ambassador. "Perhaps." Aaron smiled. "She's still sharp, just balanced." The ambassador laughed. "Well, I never thought I'd see a Neuralian and a human teaching each other peace." After the ambassador left, Thalira turned to Aaron. "Was that a compliment?" "Yes. And I think it suits you." She paused. "I am still not used to being noticed." "You better get used to it," Aaron said. "You're kind of amazing." She looked down, the glow returning to her cheeks. "You should stop saying such things." "Why?" he teased. "You'll freeze again?" "No," she said quietly. "I might start believing them." He leaned a little closer. "You should, because they're true." They stood there, the noise of the event fading around them. For the first time, Thalira didn't feel like a warrior surrounded by strangers. She felt seen, accepted, and most of all, she felt herself. After the diplomatic event, Aaron and Thalira returned to their duties. But the change between them was clear to everyone. Thalira's behavior was no longer distant or cold. She smiled more, joked quietly, and even shared stories about her past missions. Aaron was surprised, but happy. He could see she was opening up not just to him, but to the galaxy around her. One day, as they prepared for a routine patrol near the outer colonies, Aaron noticed Thalira looking at him with a small smile. "You've been practicing that smile," he teased. She narrowed her eyes. "You noticed? Of course. It's hard to miss." She laughed softly. a sound Aaron had never heard before. It was warm and genuine. "I'm learning how to be more human," she said. "And you're good at it?" Aaron replied, "But remember, you don't have to change who you are." "I know," she said, looking out at the stars, "but maybe. I want to add something new." The patrol was calm at first. The two moved through space, checking ships and colonies for signs of trouble. They worked smoothly, trusting each other's skills. During a break, Aaron pulled out a small music player from his pack. "You ever listen to Earth music?" he asked. Lyra raised an eyebrow. "No." He smiled and pressed play. Soft melodies filled the ship's cabin. Lyra listened quietly, her eyes closed. The music was unlike anything she had heard, full of feeling and life. When the song ended, she looked at Aaron. "It is beautiful. Music is how we share emotion without words," he explained. She nodded slowly. "I think I understand." As days passed, Aaron and Lyra grew closer. Their conversations became longer and deeper. They talked about hopes, fears, and the weight of their responsibilities. One evening, as they watched the twin moons rise over Nerlith Prime, Lyra said softly, "I never imagined I would feel this way." "Feel what?" Aaron asked gently. "Hope, trust, warmth. These feelings are strange, but I welcome them." He smiled and took her hand. "You're not alone anymore." She looked at their joined hands, and then back at him. Her cheeks glowed softly, and she whispered, "Say it again." "Say what?" Aaron smiled. "The word you said when I first ate that snack." He laughed softly. "Sweet, yes. You are sweet." She smiled fully this time, no longer hiding behind her armor. But change brought challenges. Some Neuralians whispered that Lyra was weakening. Others warned Aaron to be careful. Humans and Neuralians were too different. One day, during a council meeting, an elder Neuralian spoke loudly. "Commander Lyra's behavior is unusual. Emotional displays could endanger our mission and honor." Lyra stood tall. "Emotions do not weaken me. They make me stronger." Aaron stepped forward. "I have seen her courage and strength in battle and peace. She is a leader, not just of soldiers, but of hearts." The room was silent. Many stared, unsure. Then Lyra said quietly, "We cannot be whole without understanding each other. Humans and Neuralians must learn to connect." The elder grunted but did not reply. After the meeting, Aaron and Lyra walked outside into the cool night air. Stars shone brightly overhead. "Do you regret this?" Aaron asked. "No," she said firmly. "Change is never easy, but it is necessary." He smiled. "I'm proud of you, and I'm grateful for you." They paused, looking at the sky. Then Lyra reached out and gently touched Aaron's cheek. "You made me feel alive." He took her hand and said softly, "You always were. You just needed to see it." Their eyes met, full of unspoken words. The final mission came unexpectedly. Tensions between neighboring systems were rising, and the Galactic Council called for a peaceful resolution. Aaron and Lyra were chosen to represent their people. The meeting was held on a neutral space station, a vast place filled with diplomats from many races. As they entered the Grand Hall, the eyes of many turned toward them. Whispers spread. Human and Neuralian working together, leading peace talks. It was unusual, but promising. The discussions were long and difficult. Old wounds and fears surfaced. Some delegates doubted humans, others mistrusted Neuralians. Aaron and Lyra had to be strong together. In the middle of the talks, a sudden outburst from one delegate nearly broke the fragile calm. "Humans cannot be trusted," shouted a large reptilian alien, "and Neuralians are too cold to care." The room fell silent. Lyra stood and looked at the crowd. "We are neither cold nor untrustworthy. We are proof that understanding can overcome fear." Aaron added, "Our bond is not just for ourselves, but for all who want peace." Slowly, the tension eased. After the meeting, Aaron and Lyra stepped outside onto a balcony overlooking the stars. The weight of the day was heavy, but so was hope. "This was harder than any battle," Lyra said. "But more important," Aaron replied. She looked at him, eyes soft. "I never thought I could trust like this." "Neither did I," he said. They stood close. The quiet hum of the station around them. Then, Valera's voice dropped to a whisper. You call me sweet again. Aaron smiled gently. Because it's true. Say it again. She breathed. You are sweet, he said, his voice steady and kind. This time, she smiled fully, no fear or doubt in her eyes. Thank you, she said softly. Their mission was a success. Peace agreements were signed. Their partnership became a symbol of unity. Back on Nerlith Prime, Valera and Aaron were greeted with respect and curiosity. Some still doubted, but many saw the power of connection. One evening, they walked through the city gardens, stars shining. Above. Aaron took her hand. I'm glad I called you sweet, and I'm glad you did, she replied. It changed me. It changed me too, he said. They stopped beneath a glowing tree. Valera looked up, then back at Aaron. I want to hear it one last time, she said. What? The word? Aaron smiled. Sweet, she laughed, a sound like music. Sweet, she repeated. I will never forget it. Years later, their story was told across the galaxy, how a human and an Neuralian bridged worlds with a single word. It reminded everyone that even in the coldest places, warmth could be found. And sometimes, all it took was a simple word, said with kindness, to change everything.